Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This one is going to be a 2 versus 2 and it will be on Scorched Haven. It's going to be between LaoTroopz, the red Protoss, and microFAST, the blue Terran. And their opponents will be DiEoXiDE, the purple Zerg, and LangJaiTiM, the teal Protoss. Again, I'm going to remind you guys, I'll be live streaming the 4v4zeek.com Mayhem tournament on Friday at twitch.tv/IrieStarcraft, and I have a new webcam, so you should check it out. You get to see my face in the corner next to the Terran SCB dude. Except I will not be smoking a cigarette while I am casting the games. But either way, it looks like the left team is going to be building on the low ground here, going to be starting up by walling off. Usually a good idea when you are PT, PP, TT, or some version of that does not involve a Zerg, and you're going against a Zerg in a 2v2, and you're on a map like this where it is a viable solution. Because otherwise the 10 pool is just such a pain to deal with, though I do not think we will be seeing a 10 pool since there's no pool yet. It is going to be a 15 pool from DiEoXiDE, so really going eco heavy is DiEoXiDE. And that is good for him because this will be walled off, so he will be able to go ahead and get some economy fast. Fast hatch would have probably been better, but he'll probably go ahead and get one at 21 or so. And meanwhile, LangJai, he is doing nothing out of the ordinary. Not really necessary to to create a choke up here in this matchup when you're a Protoss, but why not? Why not? It doesn't hurt. It can be a pain to deal with stuff shooting your buildings down from the low ground, like in the later game, but you're sort of hoping that doesn't matter. We have a proxy pylon being thrown in the base, but that was scouted by LaoTroopz, so it's going to be cancelled now. And now LaoTroopz is just going to go ahead and chase this probe around, so it won't be able to do a whole lot. Sort of an awkward place to try and throw that pylon down. Trying to be sneaky, not going to work. As you see, microFAST putting a supply depot over here to gain some extra vision, and then just allowing this SUV to sit here. There goes another barracks. So what do we have? 3 racks from microFAST, and now comes a second gateway from LaoTroopz. Still no cybernetics core, so very interesting there. As this is, looks like their units can fit through here, but a Zealot will be blocking that, and with Marines that should be just fine. No need to overdo this wall in this type of matchup, especially when you've scouted that the Zerg is not going to be hyper aggressive. Though there is a Roach Warren now just finishing, as well as this hatchery about 2/3 of the way finished. And let's see, we have 3 gates coming out for LangJai. Looks like we are going to be seeing a Nexus fairly soon, I assume. And now microFAST 4 barracks here, going mass Marines. Definitely going mass Marines. Still no gas for microFAST. Holy crap, a 5th barracks coming down. And I'm surprised there does not look like they're going to be expanding at all. And they're going to be aggressive with Zealots and Marines off of this wall end. I like this. Zealots and Marines are so powerful, you guys. So powerful. LangJai, however, is going to scout this. He did leave his probe in the middle of the map, and it looks like the probe will not get away. But he is going to see all these Marines and Zealots coming, and they're going to be like, holy crap. We have 1 sentry here to defend and a few roaches. So it's going to be up to DiEoXiDE to pump out a bunch of more roaches. As you can see, 2 more on the way, and for LangJai is building a forge, and only one stalker being warped in right now. Right team in a lot of trouble as these Marines are picking off overlords all over the place, and now DiEoXiDE is supply blocked. He cannot make any more roaches. He's forced to make those overlords, so always a good idea to pick off those overlords. And now these Marines going to be trying to scoot their way into these roaches. The drones may have to be pulled off the line. Here come the drones, going to be shielding the roaches. So microFAST is saying, oh, that's no big deal. I'll just go ahead and pick off a whole bunch of drones in the process. And it looks like he is going to be able to kill 2 of these roaches, but these last 2 roaches should be able to defend. More and more units are being rallied up here, though. 2 zealots are fighting all by their lonesome. These Marines need to get in on the action, and that is what is going to happen right now. As microFAST continuing to pump these Marines, and now you see LaoTroopz is going for that Dark Shrine, and that is going to be so powerful to follow up this aggression with some Dark Templars. However, we did see a forge going down for LangJai, so now there are enough Stalkers and Roaches to defend that early push, and they're going to be forced to fall back. There is a forge out here. No photon cannons are out yet. But perhaps LangJai, suspecting the possible DT push, just went ahead and got that forge just in case, so that he can throw down a cannon if he needs. As microFAST and LaoTroopz still have not opted to expand. LaoTroopz sitting on a ton of minerals here. He could take that expansion right now if he wants. Another barracks coming down. How many? 7 racks? This is like a build that people do now, and microFAST just now getting a tech lab so he can get that stim pack, and getting a command center. Yay! Command center, yay! LaoTroopz getting a proxy pylon here, but DiEoXiDE, he's throwing it down right underneath this Overlord, so that is not going to finish. That's going to go ahead and get cancelled. Could we see the right team try and make a push? I'm not so sure. DiEoXiDE has been forced to build all of these roaches, and he has not been saturating his natural at all. So he might want to think about getting some drones now. And oh, it looks like they were able to pick off the proxy pylon, but not before 4 Dark Templars were warped in by LaoTroopz. And now LangJai is going to be in a lot of trouble. He desperately needs to chrono boost out this observer. You can see him doing that right now. So it looks like the question is, how much damage will these DTs be able to do before the observer gets out? There's no lair tech, and these DTs are just going to wreak havoc inside both the Zerg bases. And here comes the observer. These 2 DTs are going to get cleaned up pretty quickly, but how much damage can these top ones do? Will they be able to kill the hatchery before the observer gets up there? It is going to be close. No, the DTs are going to back off and just try and kill as many drones as they can before they get taken out. So a nice job there from the right team, hanging in. DT is not doing a whole lot, but they are able to kill quite a few Dark Templars. And look at this massive ball of Marines here from microFAST. So powerful that they can get up in your face, and that is exactly what they are doing to these roaches right now. But there are so many Stalkers, and a couple of sentries really need to be using that Guardian Shield. There it goes. And that Guardian Shield is so powerful against the mass Marines with no upgrades. You can see their damage normally is 6. And then if you go ahead and subtract 1 for the Stalker armor and 2 more for the Guardian Shield, that is only 3 damage a shot, which makes a huge difference. However, the sentries have been sniped down, and there are just so many of them that these Stalkers are forced to fall back. Mass Marines so powerful if you do not have Banelings to help deal with them, and DiEoXiDE did not go for Banelings, he went for Roaches. And we have a couple of idle Stalkers even up here, so not the best play there from LangJai, but he's doing a decent job hanging in there, trying to grab this Nexus as well. The Marines were able to pick off the second hatchery, so the damage done there as the Zerg player has been forced into remaking tons and tons of drones here. And finally we have a Nexus going down for LaoTroopz, so that is super awesome. And now microFAST throwing mules down at this new base and just pumping the Marines. I assume he is researching a stim. Yes, he is researching that stim right now. He started with the combat shield, which is probably the way to go when you're going for mass Marines and you have no medevacs overhead. You probably should grab that combat shield first, because the stim will just drain their hit points so fast. Although I don't know, I've heard people say that when you're basically, when you're using Marines to defend and expand, you should go combat shield first. If you're using Marines to be aggressive, you want to go for stim first. And this could be interesting if these Archons decide, yeah, I totally missed that one. But these Archons, I don't know, they're going to be pretty beefy, man. They're so beefy. And they're going to get way ahead of themselves. They need the support of these Marines. There goes one Archon. The other one is going to get sniped out. I don't like that. The Archons got way ahead of themselves. One force field not going to be doing very much there at all. These Stalkers need to stay at max range to fight these Marines, but the Zealots are leading the charge. There are only 2 of them. They do end up getting picked off, and these Stalkers not fighting in the back. Oh no. Stalkers not fighting, but it looks like now there is just going to be enough to force these Marines back. And that attack would have been a lot more powerful had the Archons stayed with the group instead of running in by their lonesome. Some DTs will be following that attack up here. And going to be getting some free slices, but there is an observer here and we'll be able to quickly clean these up. And if you notice from microFAST, going to be starting to make a tech switch here. He's going to be getting some tanks and medevacs out. Stim pack is just about finished. So he's really going to beef up this army now. Going to be extremely powerful. And at the same time, I think we did have Colossus coming out now. Or was that Colossus? Yes, there is Colossus on the way from LangJai. And how about that thermal lance? He has not even begun the research on the thermal lance. Just now he is starting that, as I said it. And I have a feeling that that thermal lance is not going to be done in time, and there's only one Colossus. As you see, another wave coming in from microFAST, supported by a few Stalkers here from LaoTroopz. And here we go, another major battle coming up. And some Stalkers getting left here in the front, and here goes the Guardian Shield. And the Colossus, without the extended thermal lance, still doing a ton of damage right now, roasting up the Marines in the front and now working on the Stalkers. This Colossus not being focused down. Siege tanks, however, doing quite a bit of splash damage to the Stalkers. There goes the Colossus, and now these siege tanks are just going to be too powerful to break. So difficult to get close enough to them when they're supported by Stalkers and Marines. More and more Marines being rallied up here from microFAST, and he does have the medevac support in the air. The stim, so powerful. He does have one attack upgrade as well on the Marines. Another Colossus has finished from LangJai, but it is in serious trouble. He is desperately trying to warp in some Stalkers here to defend it. A couple of roaches left from DiEoXiDE, but it is a serious uphill battle right now for the right team, and it looks like the left team is going to take this game as soon as this Colossus goes down. These Stalkers will probably get cleaned up. No, it does not look like it. They're actually going to be able to kill this queen. And that is going to do it for this game. LangJaiTiM gives the GG and leaves the game. So the right team was just up against it the whole time. And really, all I can say is, what could the right team have done better? They could have scouted a little better, seen the 7 racks, or seen the or realized the mass Marines were coming sooner. And the Zerg player really, ooh, that Colossus dying really quick. The Zerg player, DiEoXiDE, went for roaches when he Banelings probably would have been a much better play in the early going. But sort of feigning a macro approach was the left team by creating this wall off. And the right team, without the scouting info, assuming that they were going to macro up there, and they just did not have anything to deal with that initial push, so they were just scrambling, and then so many of these drones died from the Dark Templar follow-up. Well played from the left team. Thank you, microFAST, for sending me this game. It was a pleasure to cast. This is IrieStarcraft, and that's going to do it for me, so peace out.